Hey everyone, my name is Jessie and welcome back to my channel, and I'm super excited about this video because it's been a while since I've uploaded, but as you can tell, I'm in a new kitchen and that is because I moved. And I'm super excited to be back and to be making videos for you guys again. But for this week's video, since it's a little chilly outside, I thought I would make some delicious beef stew but in the Instant Pot. And you guys, it's super easy to make and I'm going to show you how. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is season our beef, and this is labeled as like stew meat or chuck roast. It's just a very lean, thick piece of meat because you're gonna let it like cook for a very long time, so you want something that's nice and sturdy. And this is about 1.5 pounds. So we're just gonna season it with a little bit of salt and some freshly ground black pepper. And I'm just gonna give that a good toss and mix so that every piece of meat has good seasoning. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this to the side and we're gonna get started on our next step. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is put a little oil. This is about 2 tablespoons. Okay, and next we're going to put it on sauté, which is right here. Oop. Yes. Okay, and while that is warming up, we are going to add about 1 onion. I used about half of those, a pretty big one. Okay, that means it's on, along with about 3 garlic cloves. Along with 8 ounces of mushrooms. Okay, and so next we are just going to saute this for about 5 to 7 minutes until the onions are nice, light, and translucent. Okay, so this has been cooking for about 5 minutes now, and next I'm going to add 1 cup of beef stock. The recipe calls for Guinness, but I don't have that, so I'm substituting that with beef stock. And next we're going to add 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire, how do you say it? Okay, and next we're going to add 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard and 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. And give that a good mix. Okay, next we are going to add a bay leaf along with a heaping tablespoon of fresh rosemary. You can use a dry rosemary if you want, but fresh is always better. And so I'm just going to give that a good mix, make sure everything's nice, well incorporated together. Okay, once this is brought to a simmer, which should come up pretty quickly, we're going to start adding our beef. Be very careful, you don't want to splatter yourself, and the steam is very hot. Okay, and now we are just going to mix this in, make sure all the meat is settled into the liquid. Oh my gosh, you guys, this smells so good already and it's not even fully done. Okay, once you have added all of your meat, we're going to put the lid on it. Let's see, I think I have it backwards, let's see. Okay, make sure it's in sealing, not the cancel, which when you click cancel, that's going to turn off the saute setting, and then we are going to click the meat/stew button, and we're going to bring it down to 30 minutes. And we are just going to let that pressurize and come up to temperature, and we are going to let this stew for about 30 minutes. And so I'll see you in 30. Okay, so as this is pressurizing, I just kind of wanted to give you a little side note about it and that I didn't know about when I first got this. Okay, so you know how a recipe will say like 30 minutes to cook, or an Instant Pot recipe will say like 30 minutes. That doesn't include the time it takes for it to pressurize. And I didn't even think about that. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. But I didn't think about the time it takes to pressurize versus the actual cooking time. So it usually takes about 10 to 20 minutes, closer to like 15 to 20 minutes for it to actually come to pressurize. It also depends on how big your Instant Pot is and how much stuff you have in it. and so that might vary, but typically from my personal experience when using this, it takes about 15-20 minutes to come up to pressure, and then that's when the 30-minute cooking time starts. And so I think you should kind of plan ahead versus like, okay, it's 30 minutes, but you also have to include the time for it to pressurize. But that's just a little side note I thought that I would include just in case you were thinking about looking into it. I definitely love it, but it's a little confusing when you think about, oh, it's 30-minute cooking time, but that doesn't include the time it takes to pressurize. So just a little side note, we're just gonna let this come, it just came to pressure, and so now the 30-minute countdown can begin. And so it's been about 10-15 minutes, and now the countdown is starting. And so we're just gonna wait another 30 minutes. Okay, and so our 30 minutes is up. Basically what I'm gonna do now is just let this naturally release for 10 minutes, and basically what it's gonna do is gonna do a countdown, but it's gonna count up. So once it hits the 10 minutes, I am going to move this from sealing to venting, let all the excess steam out, and then we are going to add the rest of our ingredients. So we're just gonna let this go for another 10 minutes. Okay, and so I let this naturally release for about 10 minutes. As you can see, it's right there. So next, I am going to release the valve. Be careful, this might still be extremely hot. So I'm just going to go this way and let it go. Yeah, since it's naturally released for about 10 minutes, it's definitely not as pressurized as it would have been if I just immediately did it after the timer went off. So once the steam has stopped and the little valve has gone down, then it is okay for me to remove the lid. Okay, the steam has stopped and the little valve has gone down, so now I'm going to remove the lid. Careful, it's extremely hot. Next, I'm going to remove that bay leaf that we added. We already extracted all of that delicious flavor from it. Next, we are going to add a parsnip, and a parsnip is kind of similar to a carrot. You might have seen it in the grocery store, and it's by the carrots, but I don't think it's fully classified as a carrot. And so just adding one parsnip along with one rutabaga, and then some carrots. I'm just using baby carrots that I just cut in half. Okay, mix that in. Okay, once you added the rest of your veggies, we are going to re-add the lid. There we go. And now put it back to sealing, and then we are going to click cancel. Then we are going to click manual. Where is it? Manual, and let this go for another 3 minutes while that cooks our veggies. Okay, so we added our vegetables and then we let this sit for about 3 minutes. Now we are going to quickly release this. There we go. Okay, so all the steam has been released and the little valve has gone down, which means it is safe for us to remove the lid. Oh my gosh, guys, if you could smell this, oh my gosh, you would definitely be making this like right now. Okay, so one last step is we have to make a slurry, and a slurry is just some water and cornstarch, and basically it's like a thickening agent. And so I have 1 tablespoon of water along with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and just give that a little mix. Make sure it's nice, well incorporated together. There's no lumps or clumps. Okay, perfect. So we got our water and our cornstarch, and we are going to pour this in. And we want to quickly give this a mix. Okay, now that we added our cornstarch slurry, I'm going to add the lid back on it and just let this sit for 5 minutes while the cornstarch slurry does its thing and thickens this. And there you have it, some delicious beef stew made in the Instant Pot. I really hope you enjoyed this video because I had so much fun making it for you. And if you did enjoy it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And also don't forget to click that subscribe button along with that notification bell because you guys, we are so close to 400 subscribers. And I know that we can get there because you guys are awesome. But if you have any other types of videos you would like to see from me, definitely leave them in the comment section down below and I'll take a look at them for you. But until next time, I will see y'all later. Bye.